Looking for a natural way to boost testosterone? You've probably heard of Kisspeptin-10, often hyped as the key that unlocks your body's own testosterone factory. The idea sounds simple. Instead of using external hormones, you tell your brain to make more testosterone naturally. But does it actually work, or is it just another case of a lab hype getting ahead of real-world results? It's also important to understand that substances like this are still largely experimental and are not FDA approved for this use. So today, we're cutting through the noise to answer one question: is Kisspeptin-10 a game changer to increase your testosterone or a bust? And the truth is, the answer is not a simple yes or a no. So first, what is it? Kisspeptin is a peptide naturally produced in the hypothalamus, a region of your brain that plays a central role in hormone regulation. Its job is to act almost like the gatekeeper of your reproductive hormone system. A useful way to think about it is that if the testosterone replacement therapy is like getting out and pushing a stalled car, Kisspeptin is supposed to be the key that starts the engine of that car. It doesn't give you the testosterone directly. Instead, it tries to trigger your body's own natural process right from the top of the chain. Now, to understand the hype, you need to understand the hypothalamus pituitary gonadal axis, your body's hormonal chain of command. It starts in the hypothalamus, where Kisspeptin stimulates the release of GnRH, or gonadotropic fin-releasing hormone. Kisspeptin is basically the first domino. GnRH then travels to the pituitary gland, where it signals the release of luteinizing hormone, or LH. Now this LH travels to the testes and tells them to produce more testosterone. So if you increase Kisspeptin signaling, you should increase GnRH and then LH and ultimately testosterone. Now this makes a lot of sense in theory. Now, a good theory is one thing, but what matters is the evidence. Some of the strongest evidences in these use of Kisspeptin is from a continuous intravenous or IV studies. In one key study, a few healthy men who received a 22 hours of IV infusion of Kisspeptin-10 saw their LH levels going high as tripling, and their testosterone increased significantly. So yes, this proves something important. Kisspeptin can absolutely activate the system and raise testosterone under controlled condition. That part is real. But here's the catch. First, it is important to say clearly that the peptide like Kisspeptin-10 are not FDA approved for general use and are generally considered research compounds in this context. Second, those impressive IV studies do not reflect how most people actually use peptides. Most people are not sitting on a 22-hour IV infusion. They are using subcutaneous injections, a shot under the skin. And when you look at the data of that method, the results are much less impressive when it comes to raising testosterone consistently. A subcutaneous shot may still raise LH, and that does not always translate into lasting testosterone increase. And that's a very important distinction. There seems to be a disconnect between creating a rapid surge in LH and actually getting the testes to sustain higher testosterone output. Then there is another concern: desensitization. If Kisspeptin is used too frequently, the receptors may become less responsive over time. In other words, the system can start to get numb. And if that happens, the very signal you're trying to enhance may become less effective. So yes, the biology is promising, but the real world use is much more different than the hype suggests. So if it's not magic testosterone booster, who is it actually for? Now this is where Kisspeptin starts to make more sense as a specialized medical tool rather than a general wellness peptide. Its most promising role may be in men with secondary hypogonadism. That means the testes are still capable of functioning, but the brain is not signaling a strong enough signal. In that situation, Kisspeptin may help address the problem much closer to the root. A second potential role is in men who are already on TRT, or testosterone replacement therapy. As many people know, external testosterone can suppress the body's own signaling system and reduce natural production. So Kisspeptin may act like a wake-up call to help maintain that testicular function and fertility, somewhat similar in the concept of how HCG is used. Again, this is not something to approach casually. This is where medical guidance really matters. Now, there is another growing interest in Kisspeptin for something beyond testosterone alone: libido. Some newer researchers suggest that Kisspeptin may influence sexual desire and arousal more directly through the brain. In one trial, it increased activity in sexual brain pathways and improved penile rigidity by as much as 56% compared with placebo. Now that's interesting, and it suggests that this peptide may have effects beyond the hormone numbers on the lab report. But even with all of that, we still need to stay grounded. No peptide is a magic bullet. If your sleep is poor, your diet is poor, your stress is high, and your overall metabolic health is off, your hormones will suffer. Peptides are not substitute for foundational health. At the best, they are tools that may help you optimize an already well-supported system. So there are no shortcuts around your basics. So to conclude, does Kisspeptin-10 increase testosterone? The unbiased answer is yes, but only in a very specific and limited sense. The science clearly shows that it can work powerfully in controlled IV laboratory settings. But in the real world, with subcutaneous injections, the results are much less reliable when the goal is simply to boost testosterone. So no, it's not a straightforward testosterone booster for the average person. And just as importantly, it's not FDA approved for this purpose, and it does carry real limitations and risk. Its real value appears to be as a precision medical tool, especially in settings like secondary hypogonadism or possibly preserving function during a TRT treatment. So the best way to think about Kisspeptin-10 is it's not a general supplement, it's not a miracle fix, and it's not something to use based on hype alone. It's a niche tool with potential, but only in the right context. If you appreciate this kind of no-hype science-backed health content, make sure you like and subscribe. This channel is all about helping you understand the real story behind the trends so you can make smarter decisions about your health. And I'd love to hear from you. What's your experience with peptides? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.